Hello, I want to classify triangle WBE in two different ways. Well, I need to know the angles of the triangles. For starters, I see vertical angles here. I know that vertical angles are congruent. So if this vertical angle is x plus 40, then that one is x plus 40 as well. Now I have the angles of a triangle. I know the angles of a triangle add to 180. So 2x plus 4x minus 70 plus x plus 40 equals 180. From there, I combine like terms. That's 7x minus 30 equals 180. I do the algebra, plus 30 plus 30. 7x equals 210, divide by 7, divide by 7, x is 30. That's great and all, but I need the angles. So my angles are 2x, 4x minus 70, and x plus 40. So I do 2 times 30. I do 4 times 30 minus 70. I do 30 plus 40. Use the calculator if you need to. That's 60, that's 50, and that's 70. So now we need to know our different types of triangles. We have scalene, isosceles, equilateral. Scalene, they're all different. Yup. Isosceles, two of them would have to be the same. Nope. Equilateral, all three would have to be the same. Nope. And then we have acute, obtuse, right. Acute, all the angles are less than 90. Yup. Obtuse, one must be more than 90. Nope. Right, one must be exactly 90. Nope. Scalene and obtuse. I want to identify the rigid motion that maps ABC onto AFD. Well, first of all, I would want to check for orientation. ABC is going clockwise. AFD is going counterclockwise. The orientation is different, which means it must be a single reflection, a single line reflection. So now that I know that, I need to find the line of reflection that maps this onto itself. So pick any 2 points. Take any 2 corresponding points, B and F. To find the line of reflection, just count between them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Half of 6 is 1, 2, 3. I could do it for angle, any other angle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is my line of reflection, and it should look correct. Just pick, again, any point and its image and just count between them and cut that distance in half. Now, Yancey has X-ray vision. It's y equals a number. It's a horizontal line, so it's y equals a number. That number is 1. Y equals 1. That's it. Check for orientation. If the orientation is different, it must be a reflection. To find the line of reflection, count between any point and its image. Cut that distance in half. And then Yancey has X-ray vision. Since it's a horizontal line, it must be y equals, and that's y equals 1. Proofs. Prove triangles. Is it obvious which triangles I'm proving? It is to me. Prove 3 things. I need to prove 3 things. C, P, C, T, C for segments or angles. So I know at the end, I'm going to state that SB is congruent to BE, CP, CPC. Let's start. Mini proofs. Additional tools. VRIAS. We're keeping it kind of simple here. Mini proofs. I see perpendicular. When I see 2 sets of perpendicular, I put them together. So I have WE is perpendicular to WT, and I have ST is perpendicular to WT. Given. Perpendicular. Perpendicular lines create two congruent right angles. Perpendicular lines create two congruent right angles. So WE, WT. WE and WT meet at W, that's one right angle. ST and WT meet at T, that's the other right angle. Those are your congruent right angles. Make sure W and T are in the middle. Angle BWE is congruent to angle STB. All right, I have one pair of things congruent. I need three. I go on to my next given. B is the midpoint of WT given. A midpoint creates two congruent segments. A midpoint creates two congruent segments. So WT, B is the midpoint of WT, so we're only looking at WT. My two congruent segments are the two congruent pieces of WT, that's WB and BT. All right, BW is congruent to BT. Now I have two pairs of things congruent. I'm done with that. I'm done with that. Oh no, I'm out of givens. Well, after mini proofs, we have additional tools. VRIAS. V, vertical angles. Do I have vertical angles? Yup. Right there. So, angle WBE is congruent to angle SBT. Vertical angles are congruent. Now I have three pairs of things congruent. I want three pairs of things congruent. I did it. What did I do? What's the first line of the song? What's the name of the unit? Prove triangles. So now I state that the triangles are congruent. So it doesn't matter how I name the first one. I'll go triangle, STB is congruent to triangle. Well, what corresponds to S? E, T and W, B and B. So if I call the first one STB, I call the next one EWB. What did I mark? I marked two angles and one side. This is the side that's in between the two angles. So that's angle side angle is congruent to angle side angle. And now that I have the triangles are congruent, I can state the segments are angles. SB is congruent to BE. And the reason after the triangles are congruent, I can state any of the corresponding parts, CP, CTC. You want to get 1 point on this thing? Make sure you get the last step. SB is congruent to BE, CP, CTC. There's a good place to start.